Hi everybody, welcome to Live at Lunch today. My name's Lupe. I'm here with Laura from the WCA, and today we're here with special guests Leslie and Theresa. We're talking about SueB today, which we're excited for. It's coming up in October. Right now we're in N. Morrison. We're kind of on site with the SueB tree. It was a dedication tree made, how long ago was this?
It was in 2009.
2009, and Leslie and Theresa here have both like one of the first shirts that we had from our SueB Memorial trees. SueB Memorial race, and we're super excited to have them here. Also, Laura here is going to talk about Endowment a little later, which is kind of what the whole push is about, to kind of help extend services for the WCA. And we're just going to do a little interview here with Leslie and Theresa. So tell me a little bit about yourself and who Sue was as a person.
Okay, well, I'm retired. I worked at Hewlett Packard for a long time, and then I worked at Ada County Courthouse for a short time. I met Sue, I love to play sports, and so soccer was my absolute favorite sport. And that's how I met Sue back in, I think, 1992. She joined my team. And so she was going through a divorce at the time from her first husband. And we just became best friends and hung out together a lot. And,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Theresa?
Well, I'm Theresa Andrew. And I worked at the hospital for 47 years before I retired. Retired now, still doing soccer. That's how I met Sue as well, because I was involved with the league. She came here from Pennsylvania in the early 80s, and she had played cricket, I believe, or a sport of such there. We didn't have that here. We had soccer. So she came to play soccer, and she was on my team, and her family wasn't here, and my mom's really was a real matronly, take everybody in. So the first holiday I'm like, well, you need to come to my mom's, and she met my mom, and they were in the kitchen, they were cooking and talking, and Sue had a Pennsylvania Dutch cookbook, and my mom was all over that. So they were making these recipes, and she just always stayed like a sister and came to every family event. My folks had horses. Sue loved horses, so that was another drawing factor. So she just became like family, and then we were friends as well. We both lived in Boise, so we just hung out, did fun things.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. It's nice to hear a little bit of background of both of you and who Sue was and your relationships with her, and she sounds like such a active person.
Yeah,
so
very
nice
active.
Nice to kind of tie back into the SueB Memorial race that we do now. So now this is the 12th year. What was it 12 years ago that made you kind of decide to start this stroll, as in the shirt says here?
The stroll.
Yeah, now called the SueB 5K, 10K race. So.
Well, we started off, when Sue died, we wanted to do something. We couldn't just let her be forgotten. We decided to buy 2 trees, not really buy the trees, but
plaques.
Sponsor the trees. And we got plaques, and this is the first tree. There's a second one in Municipal Park, and we raised money from all her friends, and we bought the plaques, and we had $340 left over. And then we were deciding, what are we going to do with it? And we said, well, we got to donate it to some kind of a women's shelter or something like that. And so we chose the WCA, and we presented them with $340 in cash. And then the endowment fund, I guess Marge.
Yeah, her sister was just all excited about the fact that we were doing something in memory of her, and also something positive to help. And so she wanted to really promote that. And when we had brought the WCA in, she's like, we need to make this grow and help get the word out and protect other innocent people. And so she made a big donation, and it just started there with the endowment and how we could each year find a way to help increase that endowment and help people.
So in 2010 we got together and started it. We started off with a stroll. We had like 50 people. We were at the
Fish and Game
on Walnut, and we just walked over to her tree, and Marge said some words, and then we did this nice loop walking. You know, it was beautiful. Sunny. It's always been a beautiful day on SueB Day.
Yeah. I haven't noticed like any like gray skies or anything every time there's a SueB race going on. Even when we went virtual last year, like that whole week, it was beautiful. I did mine on the river and actually walked past some people with SueB shirts on also, and it was like super exciting to know that even though we were virtual, we were still in like a community of sorts, because just like memorializing her, but also like raising awareness, which was super neat to do, and just see people doing it during that time.
Well, one of the driving factors for the walk and the trees is the way that Sue died. It was also quick, and he tried to kind of cover it. It was quick and tried to hide everything, and so a lot of people, her friends, very good friends, didn't know or didn't find out till later. And afterwards there was like, how can we help? How can we show our love for her? And so we thought, well, we'll get together. And that was kind of how it all, and then it just grew.
Yeah,
it just grew.
It did just grow.
Yeah.
So, what do you think Sue would have thought about going virtual, like in an event like this? You know, because being an active like community person, I know it's like it's a weird thing to think about with virtual events and people wanting to be in person, especially after having the closure last year. But do you think, what do you think she would think of with the efforts we're trying to do it now?
Well, first of all, she's a smart person. She would realize that was our option, and rather than not do anything, we would go virtual, and we would keep promoting our cause. That would be the thing. She would be behind that 100%. Probably a little more gargariously than we do. I mean, she would be at every opportunity. She would be, on Facebook. She would be, just. She was always a real lively, balloons, horns, music,
parade,
dancing. So she would be okay with virtual, I think, because, like I said, it would be all about promoting the cause.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, thank you for that. I know that's something that we're finding we're struggling with. A lot of people now are taking their virtual events and going in person, and so we really appreciate like what her thoughts could have been, because this is like the whole point of it is to raise awareness and also memorial in memory of Sue. So what's your favorite part about SueB?
Well, I think it's a great way to educate people about domestic violence. Sue was smart, she was strong. It's like there's just no way that you wouldn't even suspect her to be a victim of domestic violence, and yet she was. It's like, and none of us saw it coming. It's like, no, not her. So this is a good way for people to learn what it is and how diverse, how, I don't know what's the word, widespread, but the different facets of it. And, maybe someone you know.
You have to ask questions. You have to be, if you're, observant. And if you're a little suspicious, the one thing I wish I had followed up more. Some things I questioned, but I didn't ask and follow up. I would ask and she would say, oh, yeah, it's okay. I should have followed up more. So as I learned in the last few years through WCA, some of the signs, it's been very helpful to me, and it's been obvious that the signs were there and we just didn't know. So it's the person, there might be absolutely no reason to suspect somebody, but that doesn't mean you automatically assume that it's not possible.
Very true. Thank you for sharing that. And I do know also, if any of our watchers are wondering, we do do have opportunities through our outreach team. We actually do like break the cycle presentations that talk a lot about warning signs, and if you want to, you can always look on our website and sign up for one of those sessions. Our outreach specialist, Becca, she does an awesome job doing it, so if that's something you're interested in also. How do you think that people can help us make this year a success?
Spread the word. Spread the word. I mean, if you can do the race virtually, that's awesome. But if you can't, spread the word. You just need to look around and make it. It's come so far in the years that we've done this that since Sue was killed, that many of us are much more aware. I mean, you just did not talk about these things that many years ago. Now it's okay, and now it's obvious, and so just spread the word, because it doesn't get into the smaller circles and into neighborhoods. It might be your neighbor. We have a lot of refugee communities that don't get to hear all of our general information. We need to share that and ask questions. Ask questions. So it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be part of the race. We'd love you to, but in the meantime, still just make everybody aware that it happens to men and women, and it doesn't have to happen.
Yeah, just join us. Sign up at the WCA website. It's easy, and while you're there, just do a little research, do a little reading, because you could learn something.
There's a
that
lot of
might help
information on your site.
a friend or a loved one. Do it before it's too late.
Yeah, before it's too late, absolutely. And I think one good point too that you guys brought up is really domestic violence can happen to anybody, and that's why we're still here doing the 12th annual this year, and we'll continue doing it until we can't do it anymore, and which will hopefully be never, but also hopefully be sometime. Also, if you do want to sign up, I think Bree and our philanthropy team is posting the sign up link. We're engaging like peer-to-peer fundraising. You can work with your community if they don't want to race, but they want to support you. That's always a wonderful way to get the word out there. Always kind of learning more with on the WC website. There's lots of opportunities to do learn presentations and all that. You can always reach out to info@Boise or WCABoise.org if you have any questions. Also, if you're interested in like group runs, we're doing group runs, so then you can still get a little bit of a community run, but also kind of do it in a safe and comfortable way for yourself. Now we're going to talk about so they mentioned endowment. So the participant fees go to the SueB fund within our endowment, and then any sponsorship, leftover donation or leftover money goes also into that fund. So if you are wanting to sponsor, you can reach out to volunteer@wcaboise.org, and we can get you in touch with some of that information. It's a really great program, great effort to support. And I'll have Laura talk a little bit about endowment and what that is for the WCA.
Yeah. Thanks, Lupe, and thanks, Theresa and Leslie, for joining us today. We're so fortunate to have, Sue's friends here with us, very good friends, and I'm hoping that some of Sue's family are watching as well, especially Marge in Arizona. And as these guys talked right at the start, so I think the endowment fund is a really important thing for the WCA, and the SueB race, walk, run, ride, however you want to do it, is a huge part of our endowment fund. And this year, so I realized just now, I don't think we talked about the dates.
Oh, we did talk about the date.
We did talk about when it is. So if people are thinking, is this weekend? So the date, it starts from October 3rd, which is a Sunday. And the great thing about this event this year is you can run it at any time from that Sunday on October 3rd through till the Saturday. So that's really exciting. And as Lupe talked about already, we're so excited about the outreach opportunities that this can bring to, especially because these wonderful shirts that are being worn right now, everybody that participates in the virtual race this year will get a great SueB shirt. And just wearing that shirt around your family and friends helps them see just that you support the work that we're doing, and you are an ally for victims of domestic abuse and survivors of domestic abuse as well. The other important thing is obviously the money that we raise from this event that we do, and it makes a significant contribution to our endowment fund, the SueB fund, that is in that particular way that we raise money. And just to give you a little bit of information, because I think endowment isn't necessarily something that a lot of nonprofits talk about, but endowment helps the work live on. So that money that goes into that fund, we have an excellent team that's made up of representatives from our board and other trusted partners that actually run an investment committee. And all of the money that comes into our endowment is invested, and the proceeds that we make from those investments are actually then able to fund the critical services that we do. And many people that might have a little bit of information about nonprofits will know that unrestricted funds are a huge part of the work that we do. That means that we as an organization can put the money into the services that we know are critical right now. And as we already talked about, we've talked about it many times, 2020 was an unprecedented year for us, unfortunately. We saw an 84% increase in calls to our domestic abuse hotlines. We saw significant increases in the need for clinical services, so that's mental health, the need for court advocacy, case management, financial literacy, and of course safe shelter, where we went from having an average of 4 emergency intakes per year to a total of 27 that we've had since March of 2020. So that is an unprecedented increase in the need. And what's exciting for us is, so as we are about to move into our new fiscal year, which is an exciting and busy time, we are able to take just over 60,000 out of our endowment fund. That isn't money that we're taking out of the money that's been donated. It's money that's coming from the investments that we've made. And that money can go into the many services that need expansion and growth. And so the endowment fund is a really great way to actually remember someone's life, just like Sue's family and friends have chosen to do for us. So every year, when people participate in the race, as Lupe said, 100% of those participation fees are going into the endowment program. And that's what's so awesome about this, is that Sue's memory continues to live on, because her memory is funding a wide range of services that are available for our community. And as Lupe said, it's not that we hope that one day we won't have to do the race, we hope that one day domestic abuse won't be a problem anymore. We hope that domestic abuse won't be something that families like Sue's family and her friends have to go through and lose loved ones because of that. And Sue's story is an important one, and I know that our colleague Bree, who's on the other end, not with us, I'm hoping that Bree will be able to post a short video that we actually made last year. It's on Vimeo. I think she's posted that already, which is awesome. I would encourage everybody to watch that. If you are interested to learn about what happened to Sue and the important things that you can take from it and what you can share with your friends, families, colleagues about her story and how it might be able to help other people, definitely watch that. But another way you can get involved is joining us this year. We're really excited. It's going to be a great virtual event. We're hoping to have many people across our community and across the state running and raising awareness for domestic abuse from October 3rd for that week. I know that Bree has already posted the sign-up link, but I think if you can post it again, that would be really, really awesome. And the other way, as Lupe mentioned, is we're always looking for local businesses, local community members that might want to partner in sponsorship. Sponsorship is still a really important piece for us. It helps make sure that the most amount of money can go into that endowment fund. And as we said, this year, our costs are going to be pretty low, and so a huge portion of your money will go into that endowment fund and will help the work live on at the WCA, which is just super, super important. So I will pass back to you, Lupe, to finish us off and end today. And we're just so lucky to be here by the tree.
And it's so shady.
It is so shady. It is a great place on this very hot day. But I will let you finish.
Yeah. Thanks again, Laura. Appreciate that information. I know that endowment isn't talked about a lot, so it's nice to get that kind of feel of really what. Oh, car alarm. feel of what's going on and how we, you know, our services are free to clients, and so being able to pull from that is just a wonderful opportunity.
And I think the one thing I will add is that if you do want more information about Endowment or how Endowment works, you can use that volunteer at email as well and connect with us just to learn more about how Sue's legacy is living on. Welcome to.
Yeah. And then again, please join us. We hope you join us this October from the 3rd through the 9th. It is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which, you know, it kind of just falls in line, and it's a great kickoff to everything that is DVAM, which we are very excited about. And to leave us off, I would just like to ask Theresa and Leslie if they want to share a nice little memory of Sue, because it's always nice to share fun memory during this summertime. I'll have straws.
Yeah. Well, so there's a couple things. Sue was just always fun, and we did some crazy things. She liked to go downtown at night, and this was when we were much younger, and dance and have drinks. And this particular night, we were downtown with her boyfriend that she'd been with for quite some time. And you know how guys are, so Sue's very competitive, and as he's walking along, her boyfriend just farts. And she's like, "Oh really? I can do better." And she just farts on the spot. I'm like, just laughing but that was her. I mean, it was always just fun, always enjoying things. I mean, she was a homemaker, and when she was doing those things, she was very serious and meticulous, but there was a really fun side. And so, you know, she was a good lady.
Yeah. So in 1993, Sue and I were both having houses built at the same time, and her house was going to be done like 6 weeks before mine. So she needed a place to live. So she came to live with me and my daughter. She scared the shit out of my daughter because in the morning, well, Sue's not a morning person. No, let me just establish that. And you don't even talk to her until she had her newspaper and her coffee. That's my,
that's
my
great.
memory.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. That's such a like. It's so nice to see the memory or hear the memories, because that's why we're doing this, you know, to keep that memory alive. And you know, when we are able to, you have one more.
Okay, good. So as Theresa mentioned, Sue was very fastidious. Her house was spotlessly clean. And rubber yellow gloves. Whenever you came over and she was cleaning her house, she had on those yellow rubber gloves. So whenever you see yellow rubber gloves, think of Sue.
Yep.
That's a great
Always with a little sponge and a little. She always had a baby food jar with the paint from the different rooms, and she was touching things up.
Really?
Oh, she was very meticulous.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's so wonderful. I've never heard those stories.
No.
So thanks for sharing, and thank you all for tuning in. Again, if you can, please sign up and join us in October, and we'll look forward to hearing from everybody. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.